Hello, welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Ashley Hurley. Thank you for joining us. Tobacco use is the leading cause of premature and preventable death, responsible last year alone for 480,000 deaths in the United States. In an effort to protect the faculty, staff, and students on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University, on August 1st, all campuses affiliated with LMU will be completely tobacco-free. Colleges and university campuses are critical targets for tobacco use, so prevention and cessation efforts are underway with the ban of tobacco products taking place with the Tobacco-Free Campus Initiative. In the following weeks leading up to August 1st, we will be talking with leaders here on campus about the initiative and what you can expect. The initiative is not only for those on campus for work or classes, but the public as well. We will be breaking down the policy and how it will be implemented so you will have the information you need to know to support a tobacco-free LMU. A Lee County social worker was arrested last week by the Middlesboro Police Department for first-degree drug trafficking. According to the citation, 38-year-old Amanda Zemak of Middlesboro was arrested after a Middlesboro police officer found her to be in possession of an ounce of crystal meth. Records show that at the time of her arrest, Zemak was employed by the Lee County Department of Social Services. She previously worked as a social worker in Tennessee. The citation states Zemak was a passenger in a truck driven by 41-year-old Billy Marlowe of Middlesboro, who was driving on a suspended license. The report states that Marlowe handed Zemak an ounce of crystal meth while the officer wasn't looking. The meth was subsequently found concealed down her pants. Marlowe was charged with excessive window tinting, operating on a suspended operator's license, and first-degree trafficking of a controlled substance. Zemak and Marlowe are both being held on a $5,000 cash bond and are scheduled for court on July 21st at 1:30. Summer storms hit the community last week, causing flooding in several areas, including the DeBusk Farm, home to the College of Veterinary Medicine, as well as the Forge Ridge community. Forge Ridge Road was covered by muddy water and debris, leading to road closures and causing detours through Cedar Fork. Several trees fell onto the roads, but most of those have been removed by the road department. The DeBusk Farm was also covered with floods throughout the day. Heavy rain from the morning caused ponding and even small creeks to be formed throughout the property on Tuesday. Heavy rain that continued from Monday night into Tuesday led to ponding and flooding on roadways near the College of Veterinary Medicine. Some of those roads were still passable, but the Claiborne County Office of Emergency Management stresses that when ponding occurs on roadways, to not attempt to drive through it. Following the rainfall from last week, emergency crews are monitoring storm systems that can move through and cause the same kind of problems throughout this week. So take caution if you see ponding on roadways and turn around and find an alternate route. One of Acoustic Music Week's standout performers stopped by for a visit with LMU Community TV and Bluegrass for Breakfast just last week.
I've been playing guitar since I've been about 8 years old. And I've been singing ever since. I've been in church because I was raised in church, and I've been singing in the choir, but I got in a bluegrass band about 4 years ago, and that kind of brought me out of my comfort zone and had me start singing, which in the choir at church, I just sung with the choir. I never stepped out and sang. And then I had a lead in that, in a song, and that really helped me because I sung in front of thousands. And so that really brought me out to start singing more. So after that, I just started singing more and more and just gradually sang all the time now. The concert, it was, my grandma came, and she had never came to anything of mine except at her church if I go up there and sang. So that really made it special. And the song I sung was my grandpa's song. He passed away. And so I knew that was going to be real special to me, and singing it with Steve and Dale Ann and just some of my, like I said, my heroes, And I knew he'd be proud, and it just felt good to get up there and sing, and sing for the Lord. So,
playing with one of her musical inspirations, Steve Gully, Lau and Gully are now partnering up to help take her music career to a whole new level.
I've known of Steve ever since I've been about 2 years old, but I personally got to know him at this music week last year, and I've always known him kind of, but more personally got to know him, and Dale Ann, which I've I knew Dale Ann, but I knew Steve longer just because I grew up listening to Steve. And when I got older playing guitar, my dad got me on Dale Ann because she can play guitar really well. And he said, you got to listen to her. So that's who I started listening to her. And then just I got to know him better. And after the music week. So at the studio, me and Steve plan on talking. We're about to start a bluegrass gospel CD, and he's going to help me get it and get the band together. So I think we're going to discuss that today and maybe go over some stuff, and then we're going to go on farther when we're going to start and everything. So.
Lau also performs from time to time with Gully at the Cumberland Mountain Music Show, an extension of the Arts in the Gap program. Be sure you stay with us, LMU Community TV, for information on the next concert date and time. We look forward to following Lau and her musical journey. Now, if you are a music fan and have been wanting to see more local music in our area, we've got good news for you. To find out what you can expect in the upcoming weeks, stay right here after this break.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Go ahead and get your calendars marked for a music festival happening right here in our community. Smoke in the Valley is set to take place in August, and now we turn to one of our newest segments on LMU Community TV News.
Tyler Rowd here for LMU Community TV. I'm here with two of the musicians that are going to be performing at the Smoke in the Valley Festival. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Chris Ellis from Chris Ellis and the Weekenders.
And I'm Brandon Folsom from the Real Billies.
And tell us a bit more about the Smoke in the Valley Festival.
The Smoke in the Valley Festival is going to be an event that's going to be happening right behind us, actually, and Molly Hatchet and Blackfoot are going to be headlining the show, and as well as Jimmy Van Zant will also be there too. It's just going to be a big music festival, and luckily we both got on the bill as well, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
And when will this event be?
August 22nd.
And if people want to find out more about this, where can they visit?
SmokeinTheValleyTN.com. That'll have all the information, as well as you can buy tickets on there as well.
And tell us a little bit more about your own music.
I'm more of the old Americana, outlaw country style of music. Been playing with the Real Billies around here for 10 or 12 years. It's been a long time, so we're looking forward to this one.
We're more of a modern country rock and roll band, really. Just feel good music. Everybody's clapping, everybody's dancing. It's a good time.
So, Chris, who are some of your musical inspirations?
I would say my biggest inspiration is Ben Harper. I don't know if a lot of folks know who that is out there, but that's definitely my biggest inspiration. He's from California. He does all genres of music, and he's just an amazing musician.
And how did you get started playing music?
My uncles and my dad. I started playing with them on the back porch when I've been singing since I was 3. Probably started the first band when I was 9. I'm 28 now, so it's been a long road for sure.
So it's been a lifetime of music for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Brandon, who would you say your biggest inspiration is?
I would have to say Waylon Jennings would be one, and definitely Ronnie Van Zant from Skinner. Those are the people that really inspired me to first start playing and being in a band. So
makes sense with the outlaw country thing.
Yeah, it does.
And how did you get started playing music?
Actually, it's a funny story. I was into coon hunting at the time, and I traded a coon dog for a guitar, and I just got hooked on the guitar and gave up hunting.
So it stuck with you more than the hunting did.
It did, yeah.
You heard it right here. Smoke in the Valley Festival going to be happening this August.
If you visit their website, you will find all the information that you need about the Smoke in the Valley, including camping information, the location, and how you can purchase tickets. There will also be you will also be able to find out more about the bands and what you can expect to hear during the festival. Last week, one of Middlesboro's late night spots for munchies and cravings came crashing down. For weeks, the marquee outside Taco Bell stated the business was closing for remodels, leading many in the community to believe that they were simply remodeling the inside. Instead, last week, what many saw was a pile of brick and rubble where Taco Bell once stood. According to sources in Middlesboro, the rebuild will begin in the upcoming days with an expected opening within 60 days. Another local eatery we have been following since their move is Conley's. They still have not released a date of opening, but the remodel is coming along and the business looks better than ever in their brand new location. The Shalala Creek Trail that is used to access the historic Hensley Settlement in Cumberland Gap National Historical Park is closed to all visitors due to severe damage caused by the recent heavy rains. Deep ruts and undercutting of the road edges have made the 4.6-mile-long road impassable and very unstable. Any type of visitor use, whether by pedestrians, horses, bicycles, or vehicles, could result in serious injury. Hensley Settlement tours conducted by park staff have been canceled for the season. The August 12th Shooting Star Spectacular at Hensley Settlement is also canceled. Though the Shalala Road is closed indefinitely, Superintendent Sula Jacobs encourages all to visit the national park. The park calendar of events has many exciting events for the remainder of the year, and park staff hope that visitors will partake in these while work is being done on the road. Visitors can also take an armchair visit of the settlement by watching the park films or immerse yourself in a virtual tour of the settlement by visiting the park's website, nps.gov/CUGA. And for more information, visitors can call the Park Visitor Center at 606-246-1075. This week, the National Park Service's areas in Kentucky will launch the Kentucky National Park Pentathlon. The Pentathlon invites those who visit all 5 national park sites in the state to earn a special free commemorative patch in recognition of the National Park Service 2016 Centennial. The Park Service was created 100 years ago to protect the national park areas and the opportunities for people to enjoy and understand them. Participants can earn a commemorative patch by visiting all Kentucky national parks by April 2017 and participating in at least one activity at each park. Kentucky has all or part of 5 national park sites within its borders: the Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Historical Park, Big South Fork National River and Recreation Area, Cumberland Gap National Historical Park, the Fort Hayman Unit of Fort Donelson National Battlefield, and Mammoth Cave National Park. Possible activities include hiking, biking, horseback riding, canoeing, camping, volunteering, or many others. For more information on the Kentucky National Parks Pentathlon, call Cumberland Gap National Historical Park at 248-2817 or visit www.nps.gov/CUGA. Over the weekend, we got to catch up with Vive Broadband at the Tazewell Speedway to help them celebrate the completion of the network upgrades right here in Claiborne County.
We're here at the racetrack tonight to kind of launch off our new speeds in the internet. We've gone with DOCSIS 3, so we've got a 25 meg platform and a 50 meg and a 105 meg speeds now. And we're also launching an all digital platform on our video side, which will be all MPEG-4 video. So if it's broadcast in HD, we're going to rebroadcast it in HD. So the majority of our programming will be HD programming. Faster download speeds. And not only with the downloads, we've got better uploads. So with the 25 meg package, you get 3 meg upload, so it's a better round trip. You know, a lot faster. And then with the 50, of course, you get 5, and then with the 105, you get 10 meg of upload. So, and then with each one of them, you get more of a download bandwidth package. So you get 250 meg, or you get 400 meg, or you get 500 meg, which is how much you can download without any kind of additional fees or anything. Clearer pictures with the all HD programming and stuff, and the MPEG-4 quality pictures, just a lot sharper picture, even better than our current HD offering. This is being all MPEG-4 and being all digital environment, it's just a lot sharper, a lot clearer, crisper pictures. The colors just pop, everything's just a much better experience. The speeds are twice what we offered before. You know, we got a 12 meg, and now we're going to a 25 meg as our base offer. So we're basically doubling the speeds for no additional charge. So,
Vive's Enhanced Broadband Network will provide the customers with the fastest internet speeds available in the area, enabling customers to experience better gaming, faster streaming content, and superior social media experiences. Customers interested in additional information regarding Vive Broadband are encouraged to visit their website at vivebroadband.com. Now we are going to turn to a segment that is brought to you each week by the Veterinary Technology Program right here on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University.
In Northern Nevada Correctional Center, there are almost 2,000 inmates. Since this is a medium security facility, the majority of these inmates can be trusted enough to be rehabbed outside the wall. There is also a large population of wild Mustangs in Northern Nevada.
The program that helps deal with the problem of the inmates and the wild Mustangs is the Stewart Conservation Camp Saddle Horse and Bureau Training Program, or NCC. This program works with both the inmates and the Mustangs. The program trains the inmates to gently train the Mustangs so that they are able to be adopted later on. These inmates are not required to have previous knowledge of how to train horses or even previous experience with horses. The person in charge of this program is Hank Curry, and he determines which inmates will work with the horses, which horses they will work with, and where these horses will go after they are done. Some of these horses are sent for adoption by the public. Others are sent for use in the Border Patrol program. This program not only helps the inmates, but it also helps the horses, because without the inmates training these horses, most of these horses would not have a great chance of being adopted.
Be sure you stay tuned next week for another segment from the Veterinary Technology Program. Stay tuned after the break. If you missed NASCAR this weekend or any Smokies baseball, Adam Haley will get you caught up right after these public service announcements.
Out of the military, I was missing this camaraderie.
It's frustrating when you try and talk to people that don't understand.
I would be talking, but I wasn't there with them. You just feel so alone.
I still had the anger, I still had the addictions, but we didn't talk about that.
Came to a point where it's like, okay, I really need to talk to somebody about this.
Family more or less encouraged me, go to the VA, you're a veteran, see what they can do to help you.
When you have family, friends, when you have the facilities like the VA and the vet center, it gives me, it gives others encouragement to keep moving forward.
It's okay to go get help. It's okay to talk to people, because it takes true strength to ask for help.
Talking with other veterans was the best method for learning the roadmap to success.
Hear veterans' real stories of strength and recovery at maketheconnection.net.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back. The Sprint Cup Series was in New Hampshire this past weekend for the 5-hour Energy 301. For the first time in a few weeks, the weather was good and NASCAR was able to run their weekend schedule with no problems. Coming into the weekend, the Joe Gibbs Racing Team, consisting of Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Carl Edwards, were on a roll, scoring top 10 finishes each of the past couple of weeks. Edwards continued the hot trend by winning the pole, while Kenseth, Hamlin, and Busch all qualified in the top 8. Brad Keselowski led the most laps on the day, leading 100, but eventually finished second to the man with a plan that is still looking to get in the chase, that being Kyle Busch. Busch came into the weekend with 2 wins, including last week, but was still 87 points away from the top 30 in points, which would qualify him for the chase. Busch led 96 laps, but had to pull off a daring move late in the race to get back on the lead lap, and finally took the lead late to win his 3rd race of the season. Kevin Harvick finished 3rd, followed by Joey Logano and Dale Earnhardt Jr. With the win, Busch moved up 2 more spots in the point standings to 33rd, now 58 points behind 30th place David Gilliland. The Sprint Cup Series will now travel to historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400 next Sunday. The Tennessee Smokies will start this week at home for a quick 2-game set with the Birmingham Barons. The games on Monday and Tuesday will both start at 7:05. The Smokies will then travel to Chattanooga Wednesday for 2 games with the Lookouts, one on Wednesday and another one on Thursday, before the 2 teams will grab Interstate 75 and return to Smokies Park for a 3-game set. That will run Friday through Sunday. To keep up to date with the Tennessee Smokies, you can log on to TennesseeSmokies.com. It was announced Monday morning that the University of Tennessee football team will be in another early season neutral field clash of Power 5 conference teams. The Vols will start the 2017 season in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game against former Southeastern Conference member Georgia Tech. It'll mark the first meeting between the two since 1987. Tennessee is getting used to playing one marquee game at a neutral site each season, as they'll start this season in Nashville against Bowling Green. They'll play Virginia Tech in Bristol, Tennessee in 2016, and they're scheduled to play West Virginia in Charlotte, North Carolina in 2018. The matchup will be Georgia Tech's first neutral site game since the kickoff game started back in 2008. Now, coming up after the break, find out if Minions held on to the top spot on the weekend, or did Marvel top the box office with their new movie, Ant-Man? We'll find out with the box office report with Joseph Lewis after the break here on LMU Community TV News.
She couldn't wait.
She had imagined the day for as long as she could remember.
The anticipation had been building.
The shopping, the dress, the jewelry.
Celebrating with her friends would be the sign that they had finally made it.
Only, she didn't make it.
According to MAD.org, teen alcohol use kills 4,700 people each year. That's more than all illegal drugs combined.
Car crashes are the leading cause of death for teens, and about a quarter of those crashes involve an underage drinker.
Don't add to these statistics.
Take a stand against underage drinking.
The future is in your hands.
One. Two.
Me.
1 in 3 teens in the U.S. is a victim of abuse by a dating partner.
Numbers are important in sports, but now the number we want is 0. 0 victims, 0 offenders, no more.
We make up a larger team, Abe's team.
We're asking you to join Abe's team and be a part of No More.
So maybe you're wondering, what does it take to be on Abe's team?
Active bystander efforts. Step in when you see someone needs help.
Ask what you can do. Believe victims. Extend your support.
Act better everywhere and expect your friends to do so too.
Always be enthusiastic, especially in obtaining consent.
Avoid belligerent egos who coerce, bully, or threaten.
Alcohol brings error, and I will not leave a friend behind.
Join Abe's team and say no more. Let's be #AbeHealthy.
Lincoln once said, "When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. And that is my religion." In the spirit of Lincoln, let us support one another to do good. Join Abe's team and be Abe healthy by participating in active bystander efforts.
Hello, I'm Joseph Lewis, bringing you all the latest information in the world of movies. Tops at the box office this weekend were led by Marvel's latest superheroic origin story, Ant-Man, opening to $58 million. While this starting figure ranks second only to 2008's The Incredible Hulk as the studio's smallest debut, the surprisingly positive word of mouth the film has received in combination with the largely reliable Marvel brand guarantees that Ant-Man will continue to draw audiences. Watch out for a full review right here during the coming weeks. Following at number 2 was last week's winner, DreamWorks' animated spin-off movie Minions, adding another $50 million onto its now $216 million domestic gross and joining Pixar's Inside Out as one of the year's most wildly successful animated releases. And rounding out the top 3 was newcomer Trainwreck with $30 million, an impressive beginning for an R-rated, adult-oriented comedy competing with Marvel and DreamWorks' family-friendly financial juggernauts. Meanwhile, Jurassic World continues to make waves domestically and worldwide, with its total gross now sitting at $1,513 million, making it the 4th highest grossing film of all time behind Avatar, Titanic, and the first Avengers. On the other end of the spectrum, other summer sequels including Ted 2, Magic Mike XXL, and Terminator Genesis are all on the downswing, none of them able to match the sizable profits of their respective franchises' previous entries. In review this week is Trainwreck, the latest ribald comedy from director Judd Apatow, written by and starring comedian of the moment Amy Schumer as an alcoholic, terminally non-monogamous career woman whose life is thrown into further turmoil when she meets and falls for a genuinely decent, caring sports doctor played by Bill Hader. The moniker of Trainwreck is certainly appropriate for Schumer's character, whose work life is a mess due to the demands of her boss, an eccentric magazine editor played by Tilda Swinton. No less strained are her relationships with her married, more successful sister, and her ailing, increasingly decrepit father, played by Brie Larson and Colin Quinn, respectively. The character deals with all of these problems with a lot of alcohol, a lot of meaningless sex, and a huge helping of self-loathing, and the story that ensues is as dramatic as it is hilarious. Though Schumer's shamelessness carries most of the comedic weight, the unlikely MVP of the film is John Cena as another of her love interests, hysterically gruff and over the top, particularly so when their relationship falls apart. LeBron James likewise gets laughs playing himself, serving as a kind of mentor to Bill Hader's cluelessly smitten physician. Apatow's previous films are characterized by their merciless honesty about their subjects, from unplanned pregnancy in Knocked Up to a failing marriage in This Is 40, and Trainwreck is no exception. Schumer introduces herself cinematically as not only an instant star, but also a skillful screenwriter, mining commitment issues, substance abuse, and familial responsibilities for all their comedic worth while seriously grappling with them just the same. The film feels very much like a positive collaborative effort between her and director Apatow, who turns in his most polished and best-paced work behind the scenes as she takes the lead. It's obvious how much both of them adore and are influenced by the work of broadcast news and As Good as It Gets director James L. Brooks, never more evident than in the film's raw, emotionally messy, cliche-destroying third act. Even though the confessionals, the heart-to-hearts, and the declarations of love all threaten to become too much, they're delivered with such sincerity and from such a unique perspective that each beat lands gracefully. Trainwreck was always going to be a must-see for fans of the current comedy scene and Project Brain Trust Amy Schumer, but over the course of its 2 hours, it proves itself to be the year's finest, funniest character study. That's all for this week in the world of movies. I'm Joseph Lewis.
And that is going to be all for LMU Community TV News for this week.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Haley.
For everyone behind the scenes, I'm Ashley Hurley. We'll see you next week.